The running back LSU fans love to hate was a catalyst in the Saints' win over Indy on Sunday. And I bet you wouldn't believe the team did not improve on its 30th overall ranking in total defense, even if I told you. So I'll let Larry Holder do it. Next on the Black and Gold Today. Welcome to the Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm the one who hasn't missed on 4 straight predictions, Jim Derry. As the Saints go into a critical home game against the NFC East leading New York Giants, they do so coming off a game in which they had their best rushing performance of the season. Mark Ingram was superb against the Colts in going for 143 yards on 14 carries with a touchdown in a 27-21 win. They also did it with defense, especially with a +2 in the giveaway takeaway department. To talk about this, and don't mention his picks record because it will hurt his feelings, is Saints columnist Larry Holder. And welcome to the show.
I'm 7-0. I win every week. Just because my prediction's wrong, I win every week.
I'll change it for you. You'll feel a lot better about it later. Let's talk first about Mark Ingram in the run game. Had 3 big runs, over 20 yards, something the Saints hadn't done all season. Very effective Sunday.
Absolutely. Combination of Mark Ingram really finding the hole and using his speed and agility. Like, he broke tackles in a lot of these big runs. But you can't discount what the offensive line did. Armstead back, huge factor. Lolito back, really big factor. Max Unger probably had one of his better games, and he's known for really his run blocking ability. Remember in Seattle, Marshawn Lynch ran behind him and ran for a bucket of yards. And even the Who Man, which yeah, that guy. We'll call him the Who Man. He made a bunch of key blocks within the run game and within the pass game. So I thought you got to see what the offensive line can do when they're really in full force.
Lolito and Armstead were one of the top graded offensive linemen in the entire league.
Yeah, and Armstead, look, he's been one of the best. He's fighting for a Pro Bowl now.
All-Pro maybe even. Let's talk about the defense. Hard to believe that they're still ranked 30th. I think it's a bit misleading. They gave up 2 big plays, Delvin Breaux did Sunday, to give up 376 yards of total offense, one of only 4 teams to average over 400 yards. But this defense, this unit's getting better.
No question. You look at the amount of takeaways they've been able to create the last few weeks and where they are sacks-wise. I mean, we're talking about Sean Payton would say they'd give up 1 sack, it'd be second line down Bourbon Street. Now the Saints are near the top 10 in sacks, and Cam Jordan, he's a half sack away from leading the league. So look, you're getting pressure from not just him, Kenny Vaccaro with the blitzing, Kikaha still getting it done, and some of that front 4 as well. So big plus that they're creating takeaways and they're getting pressure on the quarterback.
Gotta love the play of Stephon Anthony. I've been so pleasantly surprised by his play. Certainly living up to that first-round hype.
Absolutely, and he's key in pass coverage, which you saw. He read Andrew Luck completely, really jumped the route and made the interception.
Let's talk about the Giants, Steve. They're really not any better than the Saints. They are one of the other 4 who have given up 400 yards per game. They're ranked 29th, just ahead of the Saints, I think, by a yard or 2. Drew Brees got to be licking his chops.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as easy for Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie to have multiple pick sixes. I think the Saints' offense is being a little more diverse. The offensive front, as we just talked about, is getting better. Now, I'm curious to see what happens. Jason Pierre-Paul sounds like he's going to be back. I don't know if he's going to be actually playing, but he may be under contract, so that would help them. But still, they're certainly not the beast of the East, of the NFC East, even though they're right now they're 6th in the playoff line.
So what you're saying is Drew Brees is no Matt Castle?
I would never say that ever. Poor Drew, I would never make that assumption.
Lastly, before we let you go, we talked about getting back to 500. You talked about actually getting over 500. But getting back to 500 could be a huge boost for this team. The schedule really lightens up after this one. They got 6 out of 7 against sub-500 teams, and with only Carolina at home, sandwiched in between. They finish up at Atlanta. This team could really go on a run if they can find a way to win this game.
But unfortunately, we've seen this already. 07. In 2012, last year, they get to 500. They can't get over the hump. There are signs of life. There's no question. But until they get over 500, we can't really consider them playoff worthy until they do that. But they're showing signs, and the schedule certainly lightens up. You look at the next 4 weeks, there is a viable possibility they could go 4-0. But this is the 2015 Saints. We don't know what we actually have yet.
You're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance. I might pick them to win on Friday, which might be bad for the Saints.
I cannot wait. The integrity of this show hangs in the balance. We'll be right back with Wednesday's Extra Point.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
We haven't had our history lesson this week, so let's go back in time for today's extra point. First, the all-time series between the two teams, and not surprisingly, it favors the Giants. They've won 15 of 27 meetings between the two. Most recently, however, the Saints have been victorious in 4 of 6 and have scored 45 or more points in 3 of those. The biggest game in the series came on November 22nd, 1987, as the Dome rocked as loud as I've ever heard it. One season removed from a victory in Super Bowl 21, Bill Parcells brought his G-men to town as the Saints were looking to win their 4th consecutive game for the first time in franchise history. Wow, in season 21, that's really sad, isn't it? But as fate would have it, the Dome Patrol and the entire defense were on their A game. Not only did the Saints sack quarterback Jeff Rutledge 5 times, but they picked him off also a whopping 5 times, 2 by Gene Atkins, on the way to a 23-14 win on a national televised game that was called by Pat Summerall and John Madden. That was a rarity for the Saints back then. And on offense, Reuben Mays rushed for 84 yards on 24 carries. Dalton Hilliard caught 8 passes for 81 yards. Eric Martin scored, and Bobby Hebert was 17 of 27 for 194 yards. Remember those days? The Saints would go on to win 9 in a row to finish the regular season 12-3 before losing to Minnesota in the team's first ever playoff game. And with that, we'll end today's show. We're thrilled that Who Dat Cat is safe and sound and that she's already voted in today's poll. You should do the same. See you on Thursday, y'all.